Are you thinking about moving to Waldorf? Wait before you do and watch this video to see what Waldorf is not. All right, what's up everybody? My name is Rob Schou and I'm here with EXP Realty in Southern Maryland. This is your first time on our channel. We love to help people make decisions when moving to Southern Maryland. So if you need help with something like that, make sure you use that contact information below and reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you. Also, if you want, instead of calling me or texting me or anything like that, you can scroll down to the first comment, click on the link, and you can schedule a calendar meeting with me to go over one-on-one your buying needs and selling needs in Southern Maryland. And last, if you haven't yet and this content's helpful, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified every single time we put out new content about moving to Southern Maryland. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Today, like I said, we're going to be talking about Waldorf, Maryland. Now, I'm going to talk about Waldorf, Maryland, and I'm going to give you reasons why maybe you don't want to move to Waldorf, Maryland, because these are 7 things that Waldorf, Maryland is not. My number 7 thing that Waldorf, Maryland is not. It's not the best place for young professionals. Now, that's not just my opinion. Niche.com, which is a great website, rates the different places around Maryland and around the nation actually, and ranks it as one of the bottom half places for young professionals to live in Maryland. And it's all about access to jobs, millennials living around there, and it's just a lower ranked area. So if you're a young professional and you're looking for somewhere to live in Southern Maryland, Waldorf may not be the best spot for you. That being said, when we look at Charles County individually, it actually is one of the better places according to niche.com in Charles County as a young professional. So if you're dedicated to being in Southern Maryland, in Charles County, and you're a young professional, I definitely would say it's a good choice if this is where you have to be. But if you're willing to look outside of Charles County, if you're looking in northern Calvert County or even into southern Anne Arundel, or if you want to be in that capital region, those would be better places than Waldorf. All right, so number 6 thing that Waldorf is not a sprawling Southern Maryland area. So Waldorf has smaller lots, the housing is tight, and everything's kind of close together. But there's tons of different housing options with that too. So you have more affordable housing options like townhomes, apartments, homes with smaller lots, which is great if you're someone that doesn't want to take care of a lot, which is great if you're someone that maybe just wants to kind of, have their little space, low maintenance. I heard people call them 0 lot homes and go do other stuff other than be at home. But if you want to be in a sprawling area, I'm thinking of like Huntingtown or even down to Plata, it's just not the same feel because you don't have as many of those big, 1-2 acre lot areas that other places in Southern Maryland have. All right, so the number 5 thing that that Waldorf is not kind of goes back to the lots and the homes and all that kind of stuff. It's not a secluded area. It's not very rural. It is the most populated population center in Southern Maryland, and you're surrounded by shopping. Now, to me, that sounds not fun. I'm someone who wants to be away from my neighbors. I want to be kind of out in the sticks, and I want to be in a more rural setting by the water. But if you're someone who wants everything right there at your fingertips, maybe it's not the worst place to be because you have everything there. You have a Walmart, you have Target, you have all the different restaurants, you have Home Depot, and just a bunch of different stuff, the mall, and just a bunch of different stuff right there, right around you. That feels claustrophobic to me. Maybe it's the best place for you if that's the stuff you want to do and you don't want to travel to do it. All right, so number 4 of what Waldorf is not a small town. And it's not a place where you can say everybody knows your name kind of thing. Waldorf is definitely a bedroom community, meaning most people that live in Waldorf commute elsewhere to work. A lot of people live in Waldorf and go to either DC or Andrews Air Force Base just because the cost of living is so much less in Waldorf. It makes sense for them. Now, I don't know if it's a bad thing that it's not a small town. Maybe you don't want people, knowing all of your business or something like that, but it can lack some of that feeling. But the one nice thing about Waldorf is there's so many different people and there's so many different, diversities and things like that within Waldorf. You can really find your niche and you can find you people that you like to associate with in Waldorf and kind of join their community within Waldorf. So maybe Waldorf's not that small town feel, but there's plenty of different people within Waldorf that you can connect with, even if they're not living and kind of investing into Waldorf itself and they're going elsewhere. All right, so the number 3 thing Waldorf is not. Waldorf is not the top area for schools in Maryland. So its public schools are ranked right in the middle of the pack, but it's definitely not like Calvert County has a higher ranked school according to niche.com, you can see right now. And some of those capital region areas definitely have some higher ranked schools as well. So if schools are a big thing for you, especially public schools, make sure that you're looking at niche.com. Make sure you're looking at those different ratings so you get an idea of where you want to be based on the ratings that niche.com puts out and the reviews of the different community members, and you can get a better fit. Now, in generally speaking, in the past few years, Calvert is number 1 when it comes to Southern Maryland public schools. St. Mary's County normally is ranked number 2, and then Charles is normally ranked number 3. That being said, all Maryland schools are ranked pretty high throughout the nation. So a number 3, that ranking that Charles has is kind of halfway down. Charles County has halfway down and amongst schools in Maryland. It's still a good school system just because of how great Maryland school systems are. All right, so the number 2 reason, or the number 2 thing Waldorf is not a place where you can just get on a road and drive. Waldorf has tons of stoplights and there's tons of traffic. So it just is what it is with all that kind of stuff there and all the shopping and all the people. There's just people moving in and out of there all the time, whether it's going to work, coming back from work, going and running errands. There's just stoplights, there's just people, and it just takes time to get places. I think that kind of comes with the territory of being the population center of Southern Maryland. I think that kind of comes with being, having everything around you, and I think that's okay. It's not for me, but if you want to be around that, it's probably a trade-off you're going to have being in that type of area. Now, I will caution you, and I will do a little caveat and say this: it's not as bad as other areas. I grew up in Annapolis. I've traveled to DC a bunch and other areas around DC. It's not like traffic like that. It's just more of an annoyance sitting at red lights, waiting. During rush hour, it can back up onto Route 5, whether you're coming, into Waldorf if it's the afternoon or you're leaving Waldorf in the morning. That can get trafficy and annoying. But for the most part of the weekend, it's just the stoplights and it's just a bunch of people trying to go from point A to point B, grab groceries and do all that kind of stuff. All right, so the number 1 thing Waldorf, Maryland is not your typical Southern Maryland town. So after I've kind of said all these things, I just want to kind of tie it up with a bow. Waldorf, Maryland is definitely not your typical town in Southern Maryland. Most towns in Southern Maryland, when we talk about them, they're just little postage stamps of towns. They don't have much in them. They're a town because they have a post office. Waldorf is a legit mini city town that has everything you need right in it. So while I'm saying all these things that Waldorf is not, one of the great things is Waldorf is a self-sufficient area for you to be in. You can live in Waldorf and find everything you need right around there with minimal commute. And you can't say that for a lot of other areas in Southern Maryland. Like where I am in St. Mary's County, it's 25, 30 minutes to go anywhere. And not just to go anywhere to do just, recreation, like to go to the grocery store, to go to work for me is 25, 30 minutes. To go to baseball practice, to go to baseball games is 25, 30 minutes. So the really nice thing about Waldorf, it's not the typical Southern Maryland town where everything's spread out. It is located, everything is located really close to you, and there's a lot of shopping and amenities you could have right at your fingertips. So hopefully this information was helpful. And if you have any questions or need any help, make sure you use that contact information below and reach out to me. Also, you can scroll down to that first comment, click the link, and you can schedule a meeting with me through Calendly, and we can talk about your home buying needs in Southern Maryland. And last but not least, if you have not yet, please click that subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified every time we put out new content. See you on the next video.